So this last year has definitely been very different. Working here at Sierra College for over 20 years now, not having sports, being here on campus, and having the student athletes, having to try and communicate and interact with them remotely for any injuries, illness, anything that's going on with them has definitely been different. It's been a challenge, but trying to do what we can for them, trying to have them, bringing them back on campus as we did in October, and then now again getting ready for our traditional spring sports.
So yeah, the process started about a year ago, as soon as we found out there was no sports. It kind of took a year process to get where we're at. And then around the summer, we started looking at what the return process would be, and then looking at CDC guidelines, and then NCAA came out with some guidelines to follow. So really it involved, on my and Brandon's part, just researching what specific guidelines we were supposed to follow.
We have looked at kind of current guidelines by the California Department of Public Health and their institutions of higher education, and along with the NCAA, the California Athletic Training Association, and the California Community College Athletic Association have both come up with certain guidelines for returning back. And so we have been working through those and kind of seeing what would be best for our campus.
And then over the break, we did another assessment. So we looked at what guidelines were up to date. We updated any of our protocols that we had. We planned out phases for how we can adjust to getting back to some type of normalcy, but within the state guidelines of the tiers that the governor talked about. So we had to just come up with those, and again, just keeping in contact with the coaches, the ADs, even the nursing department.
It's been really nice because it's been a school-wide process. We've been working with our health center, we've been working with our team physician, with our athletic directors, and then Sabrina and myself, the two athletic trainers. And so it's really been a group process in working through what needs to be done, what needs to occur to be able to bring the student athletes back onto campus safely.
One of the things we do for them to return to campus is we have the athletes as well as the athletic staff, so the coaches, volunteer coaches, and the ADs, everybody goes through the same protocol and procedure for returning.
So as the student athletes come back, they do have to get a PCR test initially, and then we are doing surveillance testing as they are doing training and practicing. And as we get back to actual competitions, we will be increasing our testing as we go through that. So the student athletes have to come onto campus, they have to do daily screening.
So the process of when they're coming here is they have to fill out the Sierra Health Screening app on their phones. And if they're a student and they have a Sierra College email address, it's pretty simple. They just download it to their phones, they type in their email and their password, and the app shows right up. The screening app gives them a pass, so when they come on campus, they can scan it. They're only allowed to enter through Lot J. And then we have signs that bring them around to our check-in station. And this is where we take their temperature. We ask if they did the pre-screening app. And then we ask if they had any signs or symptoms or been exposed to anybody with COVID. And this counts for anybody in their household or them as well. And the reason we do that is to just double check what they mark down on their app should be consistent with what they do when they check in. And we take the temperature, they scan, we give them a wristband, and then they go off to practice.
So the one thing that obviously makes all of this very interesting as we move forward is just how fluid it is. So what we have in place today, in another week or two, that might all change. And so, testing procedures, check-in, that sort of thing, that all might be changing as we move forward.